Welcome back. Now for our next conversation inside of Breakfast Extra. Let's do politics. Now, with the 2027 presidential election on the horizon, the opposition as the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is facing profound internal discord. Sources reveal a split among party leaders. Some align with FCT Minister Wiki. They're pushing for Peter Obi. Others are championing former President Goodluck Jonathan as the most viable challenger to Bola Tinubu, while a third faction is promoting Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde's candidacy. To manage the tension, the party has set up a 110-member organizing committee for its November 2025 convention in Ibadan, chaired by Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, with Governor Ademola Adeleke and former Minister Kabir Turaki as deputies. Enugu's Governor Peter Obi serves as Secretary, and Senator Adolphus Wabara represents the Board of Trustees.
And in essence, the PDP's path to settling on a presidential candidate is anything but smooth. The party is divided along factional lines over whether Jonathan, Obi or Makinde can best challenge the ruling party. At the same time, the organizing committee will have to navigate these divisions and deliver a credible, unified ticket. Joining us to unpack this party infighting is Ugochukwu, Zonal Secretary, PDP Imo State, and George Turnah, Zonal Secretary, PDP South Zone. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure being with you.
Right.
So, Arthur, let me start with you. Why do PDP leaders remain, stuck between Jonathan, Obi, and Makinde? What underlying dynamics are we looking at here?
Oh, thank you very much. I do not think PDP is stuck at the moment between the three persons that you've mentioned. I mean, there are many more qualified potential candidates in People's Democratic Party who can stand for the election and win the election for the People's Democratic Party. And Peter Obi, as of today, is not a member of our party, People's Democratic Party. So it is some group of persons who feels that he has the clout to bring fortunes to the party that are asking him to join the party. So as we speak now, he is not a member of our party, and he is not in consideration as to whether he is going to be the flag bearer of our party, since he is not our member yet. Yeah, former President Goodluck Jonathan is our member. That's all right. Now, the division that you talked about, if any, is not caused by these 3% particularly. I want to say that the division that you experience in the party today is as a result of the inordinate ambition of Governor Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. Inordinate in the sense that you are the executive governor of Oyo State. Your mandate is to deliver on the mandate given to you already, on trust by the people of Oyo State. So you are supposed to focus mainly to deliver that dividend of democracy to the people of Oyo State, and not to burn down the house that you have at the moment because you want to be president of Nigeria. That's going forward. Governor Seyi Makinde has been able to fan some embers of discord in the party, because I have so many reasons and so many proofs to that. Take, for instance, this is very good friend, Chief Ali Odefa, who is the Deputy National Chairman, Southeast, who is not a member of our party, who has been expelled by his board, who has been expelled by the local government, who has been expelled by the state, in Ebonyi State, who has court judgments against him, barring him from being a member of the People's Democratic Party at any level, at any point in time. And the court judgment went further to say that if he, Ali Odefa, participates in anything that has to do with PDP, that meeting, that decision, that resolution is null and void ab initio. That judgment of the court was never appealed by Ali Odefa. But Governor Seyi Makinde is still posting and trying to impose him on the people of the Southeast, attending meetings of the Southeast, calling meetings when he is not a member of the party. So that's why I said that his inordinate ambition to become president is what is thinking the party as we speak. So if we will respect the court judgment, I don't know if we are going to write another constitution of Nigeria for Seyi Makinde to agree on or for him to obey. And I don't know if we are going to provide another court of law for him to be able to know that any judgment of the court If you like, get it from Wuse Market. If you like, get it from Gariki Market. As long as it's a court of competent jurisdiction, every Nigerian is bound to obey it, including Mr. President. So when you come to this situation, you're carrying embers of discord in the party with that singular man trying to distort the position of the Southeast. Everybody begin to wonder, are you actually trying to run for president, or are you trying to make an easy way for President Tinubu to continue as a president? So that's why I made my position that the division you're seeing in the party today is not as a result of Peter Obi joining the party, because he has not joined yet. When he joins, we'll begin to talk about him. It's not about Goodluck Jonathan being our flag bearer, because if Jonathan opens his mouth today and said, I am running for president, he has not even said it. We'll begin to discuss that. The only person that has said he wants to run for president, whose billboards are in some strategic locations across the nation today, is Governor Seyi Makinde. So he is the cause and the cause of the problem we're having in PDP.
Thank you for that clarification on your stance and your position on this matter. Now, I'd like to ask George what his position is regarding this three-man race that we are seeing across dailies this morning. It was all on there. So what's your take, Mr. George?
Thank you once again. Let me thank my brother out of Ugochukwu for the background, of course, the foundation that he has laid. I'm a bit surprised. As a very senior officer of the party, I am not aware of any three-horse race at the moment in the party for our presidential ticket. Neither of the three leaders have said anything to, give us any indication that they will be interested or they are interested in getting our presidential ticket for 2027. But that being said, what bothers me is, are we even sure that the PDP is ready or is going to have field candidates, let me put it that way, in 2027? I doubt, except we quickly have a U-turn and then begin to respect our constitution and then do things differently. But at the point where we are now, where some leaders, in quote, seem to be taking us to, I doubt if the party will be able to field even House of Assembly candidate in 2027, because the foundations, as we are seeing, are very faulty, leading up to the talked about November 15 National Convention in Ibadan. Now, you recall that by our constitution, I think Article 31 or so, it is strictly the responsibility of NEC to fix or to convene national convention. Now, our constitution, as part of the functions of the National Secretary, it is solely the responsibility of the National Secretary to issue notices for NEC meetings, NWC, and convention, and all of that. And as lawyers, we know that notice is a necessary condition. It's a condition precedent for a valid NEC meeting, as it were. Now, the last valid NEC meeting we had as a party was the 98th NEC meeting, whose notice was duly issued by our National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. The drama surrounding the 99th NEC meeting is known to almost all of us. That NEC meeting, which, in quote, held at a legacy house, was not a valid NEC meeting. Notice was not issued. In fact, at the time, we were confused as to the occupant of the office of the National Secretary, despite clear and unambiguous pronouncement by the Supreme Court.
Mr. George Turnah.
So notice was not issued, and that was never
Mr. George Turnah.
a NEC meeting.
Mr. George Turnah, just a second, Mr. George. Now, I understand that you're giving us a bit of clarity into the systems that operate inside of the PDP, and we thank you for that, especially regarding the NEC meeting from before and what is being expected come November. But I think from the question we asked before regarding this, in quote, three-horse race that we're asking about, you've also now indicated that there's a deeper problem within the PDP, because where we thought that there were suggestions made regarding Jonathan, Obi, or Makinde, now you're telling us that there isn't even any suggestion, or you're telling us that, well, maybe this is just people from the outside thinking that these are great names that we can pose. But you also indicated that come 2027, you as the secretary, zonal secretary, Imo State, you are also telling that they might not even be able to put up any candidate for any office. Why exactly is this so, and where does this position the PDP as an opposition, as what many think as the biggest opposition when it comes to the next elections? Are we saying that they're down and out, or are we waiting for the November NEC meeting before we're made known who exactly is going to be? But wouldn't it be too late by then? Because we can see the opposition already going ahead, like you noted, with billboards telling who they want to be president, even if it is, well, in quote, illegal yet to do so. So where is the opposition? Where is the PDP? Are they still relevant at this point?
No,
Mr. George, you're going to answer that, Mr. George, and I'm going to expect that
Mr. Arthur.
sorry about that, Arthur. I'm going to expect Arthur to also give us his take on that. But go ahead, George.
Yeah, so what I'm telling you is that, look, we are at a crossroad. Just like the foundation that my brother Arthur has laid. People are allowing their ambition, personal ambition, to drive them crazy to the point of losing sight of the fact that they are putting this party to sit on a keg of gunpowder. We cannot, if we don't get our conventions right, because the next convention is elective. It's going to elect the next set of NWC leaders who will preside over party primaries. So if we don't get it right, it will mean putting something or nothing, and it will collapse. Recall in 2019, the APC could not field any candidate in Rivers State. Now, the issues are very clear. We had controversies as to who is National Secretary. Now, that has been laid to rest, that Sam Anyang is National Secretary. What do you need to do? You revert back to where you were before the confusion, which was the 98th NEC. That was the last valid NEC meeting that we had as a party. Now, you now need Senator Anyang as National Secretary to issue notice for a proper and valid 99th NEC meeting that will now approve the processes of convention. Now, we had a 99th NEC meeting that is invalid in as much as I'm concerned, and in as much as the law is concerned, because the necessary notice were not given. That 99th NEC meeting approved the 100th meeting, another illegality. In fact, up to the eve of the 100th meeting, we're not sure. National chairman himself was saying there will be no NEC meeting. The other group are saying there will be NEC meeting. There was no notice again. So we woke up that morning and were told after meetings that
All right, Mr. Turnah.
Meeting.
All right, Mr. Turnah. All right, Mr. Turnah.
Serious.
All right,
now,
Mr. Turnah.
It was this meeting that approved Ibadan
all right, Mr. Turnah.
as convention.
I would like to take Arthur's take on this issue here regarding the 98th, 99th meeting where he feels that this due process should kick off from. Mr. Arthur, what's your take on this?
Like George Turnah rightly said, please, the party knows where the problem is coming from. But this group of persons I mentioned earlier want us to believe that their wills and their desires must always be granted, whether it is lawful or not lawful. Like Turnah said, the 98th NEC meeting was properly convened. Before a problem began, some governors went to INEC to ascertain whether Anyang was the National Secretary or not. So while they went to National INEC to confirm that, the Deputy National Secretary went ahead to issue notice of NEC meeting, which was not supposed to be, which was very, very illegal for the 99th NEC meeting. And on the morning of the 99th NEC meeting, when the resolution was to be read, the acting national chairman stated categorically that what they were going to have after the caucus meeting was expanded caucus meeting, not a NEC meeting. Now, some resolutions were reached at that expanded caucus meeting, which they supposedly transmitted to 100 NEC meeting, which was duly signed by the National Secretary. So they could not have taken a resolution reached at a expanded caucus meeting over to a 100 NEC meeting to interpret it and then carry it along. It's like building nothing on something or building something on nothing. So the position of the law is very clear. You go back to the status quo. You refresh the button. You go back to where the whole problem started, and then you can be able to solve the problem. One of the problems that we had leading to this problem is this ambition of some persons.
Ambition.
And in this country, sometimes I begin to wonder who advises these governors. Do they have advisors? Do they have people who interpret the law and tell them what the position of the law is? If they do, you cannot see a trailer coming to jam you and stand by the road and the trailer jams you. That's unfair to yourself. Even God will not forgive you. Some of us that are youth in this party are very, very angry and bitter with the kind of decisions these governors, these stakeholders, leaders that come up with. Because we know, even it is very very, very clear to everybody that if you go this way, we are not going to have it. If you do this way, the party is in trouble. So why are you putting us in trouble? Two governors are instrumental to this. I have mentioned their names here before. But one of the governors have decided to hide away. He doesn't come to the public. He doesn't attend party functions again after he visited our NEC office. The position of the law is clear, my dear people. Do the right thing, and we will have a very thorough Now, if they delay, if they continue to delay, and at the end of 10th of December 2025, the offices of this President National Working Committee elapses, they will be forced to have caretaker. And caretaker will not conduct elections. Caretakers cannot conduct general elections. That's the angle Turnah is coming from. It must be elected officers that will do the convention. And there is a time in this INEC timetable that you must be able to finish things at a point so that you will have your candidate done properly.
Arthur, like you've mentioned, and also George has mentioned, this situation is more than meet the eye. But can you tell us what this disagreement reveal about the internal, power dynamics, especially, with the role of the figures like Wiki?
Yes, what the internal dynamics is showing us now, me as a person, me as a party officer, I believe that Deputy Minister Wiki has the interest of this party at heart more than these other persons that are accusing him of destabilizing the party. Because if you knew, Wiki is saying, do the right thing, and you're saying, no, we're going to do the wrong thing that the law must take. And that's why I asked in my earlier submission, are we going to create another constitution for these governors to begin to obey? Are we going to turn this country upside down so that the likes of Governor Seyi Makinde will see that anything I say must happen? Is he truly working for the interest of this party? If yes, why are you not doing the right thing? And what is that right thing to be done? They know, we all know. From my submission, you can deduce that.
Mr. George Turnah, what's your take on this one now regarding Wiki's involvement in all of this dispute, especially the fact that he's been accused of anti-party activities, right, and most of these have been documented. People will argue that he is playing on both sides, the APC and also the PDP. Where do you think he plays in here when it comes to the disputes and this organization that the PDP is experiencing currently? Is he helping, like Arthur has said? Does he have the party, the interest of the party at heart?
The Honorable Minister for the FCT is one national leader that clearly has the interest of this party at heart, and he acts it. He doesn't pretend about it, and I tell you for free. Now, what is anti-party? Before the minister accepted the role, in this government, he wrote to the party. He wrote from the ward. He wrote to the ward, wrote to his local government, wrote to the state. I am in the zone. He wrote to us. He wrote to the National Working Committee. He has said so at several fora, and nobody has faulted that claim. And approvals were given. Go and serve your country. Nigeria. We must have a country first before you talk about PDP, APC, or whatever party. And the minister said, look, I am here to serve Nigeria. It doesn't participate in anything APC. It defends the administration it serves, and that is all right. So when people talk about anti-party, I don't see it. I don't even understand where it comes from. Now, Minister Wiki insists that the rule of law and due process must prevail in the affairs of the party. Is that anti-party? Let us do things correctly. Let us obey Supreme Court. For instance, in the case of National Secretary, Samuel Anyango, let us obey the Supreme Court. Is that anti-party? In the case of the South-South leadership, the Federal High Court, and that judgment is subsisting, have clearly restrained Chief Ogidi and his caretaker group from parading and from holding themselves out as either caretaker or leaders of the party in the South-South. Now, the court also restrained the PDP from dealing or relating with these persons. INEC is a party to that suit. PDP is carrying on impunity. And we just say, no, let us obey the court. Is that anti-party? In the case of the Southeast, Honorable Alojefa has been expelled by his ward, local government, state. Now, that expulsion have also been affirmed by a competent court of law. And the Minister Wiki said, look, let us obey the rule of law and respect the court. Is that anti-party? I think that these leaders who are carrying on in anti-party, are carrying on impunity, are actually the ones playing anti-party. And I am very sure, I'm beginning to suspect that it's like they have deals at some levels that we do not know. Because they are working, to the disadvantage of this party, and they just want to kill this party. The acting national chairman is holding office today the strength of a court judgment.
Okay. Well, when we refer to anti-party activities that the argument here tells about, Mr. Turner, Mr. Turner, most of the reference to anti-party activities have been to the fact that, or to the suggestion that the FCT minister uses state-owned apparatus to cause issues with the party. For instance, from a couple of months ago, the situation at Wadata Plaza. That's what most arguments are actually referring to. But I'm going to leave that to the side here and ask directly, from where we started, regarding these names that we put forward, whether they are part of the party or not, like you noted with Obi not being a part of the PDP. Who is left inside of the PDP that the next meeting might be choosing from? Now, that's the question. If it's not going to be Jonathan, if it's not going to be Makinde, then who is left in the party that might be a strong contender for the opposition come the next election? Mr. George.
I don't know if George... can I come in?
George, we can't hear you. We're going to try and fix your audio, but go ahead then, Arthur.
You cannot ask that question, who is left in the party, because PDP is very big to be asked that kind of a question. There are so many persons. So we have many persons. The question you should be asking is, when will PDP fix their house in order so that people will see it as a viable opposition?
That's the question. That's the question we spent the last
election.
Well, Arthur, that's the question.
Who is left? Arthur, who is left is like when your father's house where there are sons, Arthur, and you said, who is in this house?
Arthur, that's the question we've been asking the past couple of minutes. We've been asking how the PDP can put its house in order. But let's face facts here. When you talk about politics, you have to talk about people that people know, because I'm not going to be voting for a phantom or somebody who just popped up from yesterday. Let's know their antecedents. From now, let's study what they're going to do. So that question is still very relevant. Who is left? Because we know Jonathan, we know Makinde, we don't know anybody else, it would seem. That's the argument.
Well, there are so many persons that I know for sure. And you mentioned Jonathan, and I told you that Jonathan has not indicated interest to run for president, and we're not going to force him. But I know some interest from the North are pushing his agenda. so that they can have one term from the south and then power goes back to the north. That's how the Jonathan idea came up. But as we speak, he has not made a public statement. And that of Peter Obi is not a member of our party. In fact, Peter Obi, I don't even know whether he belongs to ADC or Labour Party at the moment. Makinde is Governor Makinde. Yes, we know him. But there are many more persons in the party. When they show their face, we'll begin to know them. And then the election is 2 years away from now. What we are doing now is a precursor to the election. The major problem is putting our house in order. And I have mentioned the name of the person for you who is causing the disaffection in the party to you. Take, for instance, last week, I think on Thursday, they called a meeting of southern stakeholders or zoning committee in the south, in Lagos. And now the critical stakeholders from the south were not invited to the meeting. So you cannot call that a legitimate meeting of the party to take a decision on who presides or where zoning will go to. The National Secretary of the party was not there. The minority leader of the party National Assembly was not at that meeting. So many other big party officers, former governors. So when you go to that meeting, you can ask them, who are these critical stakeholders that are discussing zoning when the relevant authorities, the relevant personalities, who should be discussing the zoning are not in this meeting? So these are politics. These are ups and gimmicks that they are playing, orchestrated by that one man to see and present himself as the only person. So how come out of these two other persons who are not members of our party or who has not indicated interest to run, and then this person that is fronting himself at all angles is the person that is among the 12 persons that we're having a discussion about? I cannot say that Governor Seyi Makinde is the only person available or suitable to run for the position of the president. Well, before you can run for the position of the president, even though it's your unalienable right, you must have a party that you run on. So what I'm advising him is, don't set your house ablaze in your attempt to achieve your long-term or short-term presidential ambition. Don't set PDP ablaze. We are lovers of PDP. We want this PDP to survive. PDP has helped you. You have served 8 years of governorship. Please and please let the rule of law prevail. Let the right thing be done at any point in time. Don't destroy these hands for us. So that when we get to your point, we will have a party at the platform to run and aspire for president too. I can run for president. I know my age. And I know what I am capable of doing. So it's not only these three persons that we have in the party at the moment. That's the point I want to make to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. So in this struggle, do you think the struggle is less about personalities and more about who controls the party machinery and patronage?
Yeah, it's about who controls the party. That's what politics has always been. You must have control of the party. But you cannot win all at the same time. You must win some, you must lose some. And in your attempt to control the party, don't destroy the house that you want to control. Because if they continue in this trajectory, like Turnah said earlier, we wouldn't have any candidates in any of the elections from the presidency to the councillorship. That is the honest truth. Because when you don't have a valid convention, you will not have basis of those that will conduct the primaries prior to the election.
Okay, so I guess the next question to ask is whether this is going to be a case of reconciliation or whether cut out the leg that's no longer functioning. What will the PDP do regarding the infighting? Is it going to reconcile the parties within the parties together, or is it going to say, let's sideline these key factions and just continue with our convention? What's the next move?
No, the next move is to apply decorum here, reconciliation. There is already a reconciliatory committee led by former Senate President Bukola Saraki, which did a marvelous work, did a great work that led to the little peace that we had, the short-term peace that we had over time. But because of over-ambition, because of inordinate ambitions, because you think if you become the presidential candidate or you must become the presidential candidate at all cost, so you want to take everything. And there is no way you can cut off the leg or the arm without blood flowing. So we cannot advise for any faction to cut off the other, except it is there is no other situation to that. But there must be a round table. Tomorrow is today is caucus meeting of the party. Tomorrow is NEC. When they meet, they should lock themselves inside that room and say, okay, a little this way, a little this way, and let's forge ahead as a one political party.
Arthur, thank you very much. Let's check on George Turnah. We're hoping that we have him back because we lost him a moment ago. Is George back with us? George Turnah? Unfortunately, he's not back with us. So we're still with you, Arthur. Now, Arthur, let's keep the issues within the party aside for once. Let's talk about the voters. what consideration is being given to the voters regarding this situation of confusion that we see with the PDP? Actually, Arthur, let me pause you on that. While you're thinking of the answer for that, we have George Turnah back with us. George, thank you for coming back. We lost you for a moment there. If you can hear me, I'd like you to continue on that question that I initially asked you. And I had asked, who is left within the PDP for consideration as a candidate come 2027? George. Unfortunately, I think we have lost George yet again. So I'm going to come back to you now, Arthur. Arthur, the voters, what consideration is the PDP giving to them? Because as lost as the party might seem now, the voters are also, or the party faithfuls, the party followers are also equally as lost. And that's why it's key to note exactly what's happening right now so people are, well, in a state of understanding and they know who to follow. So what about the voters?
Well, yeah, the voters in this situation, some of us that are very, very passionate about the party and about our country, Nigeria. That's why we are crying on our voices to ensure that the right persons at the top does the needful. Because the voters, we all know, are waiting for PDP. Everybody in Nigeria has already seen Shege in the hands of the APC. So the voters are waiting. Everybody, if you go to your wards, because every politics is local. When you go back to your villages, your wards, people are saying put yourself in order. But I want to assure the voters that the party will come back as strong as ever. It's politics, it happens. Labour Party is undergoing the same kind of problem. APC, their own is still on the way. After their next convention, which should be before end of this year, we'll begin to see this kind of problem too in APC. Okay. One good thing about PDP is that our own is coming at a time where we will have enough time to reconcile and then make up and make fences with the warring factions. But when the APC will start, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, when the APC's problem will start, they will not have time to put themselves in order.
Okay.
Nigerians have seen it's like a woman married to husbands. Okay. They have married PDP for 16 years. They have married the APC for 10 years now running. So it's not to be told to anybody what to do by 2027.
Arthur, just a second now. I like the analogy that you've used regarding the woman or the husband who's married 2 wives. Yes. And then remember, you've also just noted that the electorate, the voters, are waiting for the PDP.
Right.
But there's a new contender in town. And while the PDP has been, taking care of whatever is happening on the inside, there's another name that people are beginning to chant, and that's the ADC, of whom you've also linked Peter Obi to as well. And he's a strong contender. He's with other big names within the ADC. So do you really still think that the people, the voters, the electorate are waiting for the PDP to put its house in order before they make a choice? Do you not think that they're already singing another anthem of the ADC?
Where are they singing the anthem? There is no ADC. There is no office of any ADC anywhere. ADC is an association of disgruntled or displaced comrades. It's just a set of people who cannot stand the heat in PDP. And then a meat that has fat always prove it by the heat of fire. If you have fat, you prove it by the heat of fire when they put fire. So we believe that there is heat in PDP, and that fire must quench very, very soon. And those who stand by are the people that we call the men. Those who cannot stand the heat in PDP run to ADC. Those who felt that APC didn't give them what they wanted ran to ADC. Those of them in Labour who had been chased away by the internal wrangles of Labour Party ran to ADC. So it's not a political party. It's just an association of some disgruntled comrades who feel that they are coming to grab power. No ideology, no mentality, nothing on the table. All they just want is give us power. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. But there is no proper blueprint. They have not even had time to sit down to plan a blueprint for the party, to move the country to the realm of success, to move the country from the quagmire of APC for the past since 2015. So I don't see them as a serious and a viable opposition because they have not even made any impact, both at the locals. The election that was conducted the other day, the by-elections, they were having 2 votes. Even in P2B's place, even in Atiku's place, they lost woefully. Aerofy, after jumping bikes, lost woefully. So we are not considering them as if they were. We should not be discussing PDP at every newspaper. We should not be this. We shouldn't have had the issue of National Secretary of PDP, Senator Samuel Anyang, dominate the front dailies, dominate the trends for the past 4 months. It's because people have confidence in PDP. Everybody is looking for PDP to fix their asses together. And that we are believing, that we are hopeful, that in the shortest time coming, the PDP will put their asses together. I am hopeful that by tomorrow's NEC meeting, which they are all going to be there, they should sit down, lock themselves in the room, and say, what is all this? Let us get, if after all, when APC came to power, former chairman of APC, Adams Oshomole, said, if you are a sinner, as long as you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. He made that public statement. Even those that stole our resources, immediately they joined the APC, they withdraw their criminal cases against them.
Arthur,
so what is too difficult for PDP not to fix?
Arthur, if I can interject, Arthur, if I can interject, you mentioned that, you know, the ADC does not have an office and all that, but that was what was said about the Labour Party a few years ago, and look how far they've come since 2023.
Look how far they did in 2023.
How far is that? Did they win the presidency?
Well, they didn't, but they were very strong contenders, and they didn't seem like a contender from before. But let me welcome George.
Nearly cannot kill a bet. Nearly cannot kill a bet.
Okay, nearly doesn't kill. I heard you there. But Arthur, let me welcome you back. Arthur, we asked a very important question before the network went bad on us, and I still want to maintain that you respond to that regarding who might be left inside of the PDP that the electorate, that the voters should look forward to come 2027. Who's going to be selected come the next NEC meeting? George, please.
Okay. You know, I got a bit distracted with the network and the SAM, so I'm just joining the conversation again. I really didn't get that question, but let me just, from the few pickups. You see, the PDP is still the party to beat. PDP is a national party. This party is well-rooted, well-structured, and Nigerians still have
time to reconcile and then make up and make fences with the warrior factions.
But
when the APC will start, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, when the APC's problem will start, they will not have time to put themselves in order.
Okay.
Nigerians have seen the way it's like a woman married to husbands. Okay. They have married PDP for 16 years. They have married the APC for 10 years now running. So it's not to be told to anybody what to do by 2027.
Arthur, just a second now. I like the analogy that you've used regarding the woman or the husband who's married 2 wives. Yes. And then remember, you've also just noted that the electorate, the voters, are waiting for the PDP.
Right.
But there's a new contender in town. And while the PDP has been, you know, taking care of whatever is happening on the inside, there's another name that people are beginning to chant, and that's the ADC, of whom you've also linked Peter Obi to as well. And he's a strong contender. He's with other big names within the ADC. So do you really still think that the people, the voters, the electorate are waiting for the PDP to put its house in order before they make a choice? Do you not think that they're already singing another anthem of the ADC?
Where are they singing the anthem? There is no ADC, there is no office of any ADC anywhere. ADC is an association of disgruntled or displaced comrades. It's just a set of people who cannot stand the heat in PDP. And then a meat that has fat always prove it by the heat of fire. If you have fat, you prove it by the heat of fire when they put fire. So we believe that there is heat in PDP, and that fire must quench very, very soon. And those who stand by are the people that we call the men. Those who cannot stand the heat in PDP run to ADC. Those who felt that APC didn't give them what they wanted ran to ADC. Those of them in Labour who had been chased away by the internal wrangles of Labour Party ran to ADC. So it's not a political party. It's just an association of some disgruntled comrades who feel that they are coming to grab power. No ideology, no mentality, nothing on the table. All they just want is give us power. We are going to do this, we're going to do that. But there is no proper blueprint. They have not even had time to sit down to plan a blueprint for the party, to move the country to the realm of success, to move the country from the quagmire of APC for the past since 2015. So I don't see them as a serious and a viable opposition because they have not even made any impact, both at the locals. The election that was conducted the other day, the by-elections, they were having 2 votes. Even in P2B's place, even in Atiku's place, they lost woefully. Aerofy, after jumping bikes, lost woefully. So we are not considering them as if they were. We should not be discussing PDP at every newspaper. We should not be we shouldn't have had the issue of National Secretary of PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, dominate the front dailies, dominate the trends for the past 4 months. It's because people have confidence in PDP. Everybody is looking for PDP to fix their asses together. And that we are believing, that we are hopeful, that in the shortest time coming, the PDP will put their asses together. I am hopeful that by tomorrow's NEC meeting, which they are all going to be there, they should sit down, lock themselves in the room, and say, what is all this? Let us get, if after all, when APC came to power, former chairman of APC, Adams Oshomole, said, if you are a sinner, as long as you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. He made that public statement. Even those that stole our resources, immediately they joined the APC, they withdraw their criminal cases against them.
Arthur,
so what is too difficult for PDP not to fix?
Arthur, if I can interject, you mentioned that, you know, the ADC does not have an office and all that, but that was what was said about the Labour Party a few years ago, and look how far they've come since 2023.
Look how far they did in 2023.
How far is that? Did they win the presidency?
Well, they didn't, but they were very strong contenders, and they didn't seem like a contender from before. But let me welcome George.
Nearly cannot kill a bet. Nearly cannot kill a bet.
Okay, nearly doesn't kill. I heard you there. But Arthur, let me welcome you back. Arthur, we asked a very important question before the network went bad on us, and I still want to maintain that you respond to that regarding who might be left inside of the PDP that the electorate, that the voters should look forward to come 2027. Who's going to be selected come the next NEC meeting? George, please.
Okay. I got a bit distracted with the network and the SAM, so I'm just joining the conversation again. I really didn't get that question, but let me just from the few pickups. You see, the PDP is still the party to beat. PDP is a national party. This party is well-rooted, well-structured, and Nigerians still have their faith and believe in the PDP, especially when you look back to the 16 years, you know, of PDP. You find that eventually everything you want to talk about as development and progress in this country, you know, in terms of institutions, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the economy, and all of it, you give it to the PDP. Don't forget that the PDP have also served as a nurturing and breeding ground for leadership. Don't look at PDP, those who were PDP, who joined the APC after their victory in 2015. Look at the various areas of responsibility, you know, and the impact they are making. Yes, they can be APC by name today, but of course their DNA is PDP. So all we need to do is to get our acts together and get this party, you know, moving. So don't disappoint Nigeria. You see, the little progress the Labour Party made in 2023 was because of the inability of PDP, you know, to do things right and, you know, give Nigerians that alternative platform. And that is what they are doing again. We're approaching 2027, the same politics, the same game, the same style, the same destructive tendencies, right? Constitution is clear. We have our zoning understanding to the right, to the left. You're right. In 2023, it was clearly the turn of the South to have produced the presidential candidate. But you saw the manipulations. And because PDP was not ready, Labour Party became, just imagine that a party from nowhere. So, for a moment, just think of it that PDP were able to pull themselves together in 20.
Networks got us again on our connection with George, unfortunately. But I do think that we did note all that you had to say regarding your submission there, and it's well taken. Now, we still have Arthur, but Arthur, unfortunately, we have to draw the curtains here on this conversation. Oh, George is back. George, apologies, but we have to draw the curtains on this conversation. But I want to say thank you very much for a robust conversation regarding the state of the PDP and how we look forward to whatever names that will be put forward as well. We need to follow through with our own considerations as well. But let's hope for the best, everything being normal. And well, maybe we'll come back to you again for a furtherance of this topic. Thank you very much, gentlemen.